Hey everyone, Scott here to discuss the 1981 version of Clash of the Titans, starring Laurence Olivier, Claire Bloom, Maggie Smith, Ursula Andress, Harry Hamlin, Judy Bowker, yeah, that's right, and Burgess Meredith, and directed by Desmond Davis. Now, this is my first viewing. I have seen the two remakes before, but let's see how this original movie will do for me. Let's get into it. We open with the death of King Acrisius of Argos' daughter, Danae, while in the water in a wooden coffin because she gave birth to Perseus, who's the son of Zeus, played by Laurence Olivier, who's the god of land. And he orders the god of sea, Poseidon, to release a monster called the Kraken to destroy the Argos. And a lot of this looks green screen to the point it looks rather bad. And we briefly see the Kraken, which the look of it reminded me of the amphibian man from The Shape of Water, which will come out years later. But that look did remind me of that, honestly. Meanwhile, Danae and Perseus grow up, and over the years, as he becomes an adult, Perseus, played by Harry Hamlin, grows up as a man. And I do like this Perseus and Zeus as they're acting quite well because of the sea, Thetis, or the goddess of sea, excuse me. Thetis, played by Maggie Smith before she was ever in Harry Potter, tries to convince Zeus to show mercy to her son Calibus, as he's about to marry Princess Andromeda, and a lot of this is making sense as Zeus transforms into a satyr-like creature, or transforms him into a satyr-like creature, as he lives in the outcast, and I like how this is told so far, but I don't like the green screen for half the movie is. But, I mean, I'm going to be honest, it was the 1980s. I'm not going to blame it for that. Thetis puts Perseus in Joppa as he's encountered by Ammon, played by Burgess Meredith. Welcome back from Rocky. As he tells him he's the prince of and higher of Argos and hopes to reclaim the title. Meanwhile, Zeus realizes his son has been sent to a dangerous region of the world, and he provides Perseus with a helmet which will make him invisible, a sword which can cut through material as hard as a marble, and a shield that's gold. And I like how this is working. Perseus sneaks into Andromeda's bedchamber while using his helmet for cover. A monstrous vulture arrives with a small cage and carries the princess to the east, which isn't as freaky looking as it was in the 1980s, I will admit. And Perseus captures Pegasus slowly and learns how to fly the flying horse, which did take a little too long, and follows Andromeda's spirit of her nightly journey to learn a new riddle from Calibus. And the effects in this movie do look rather cheap, which is what the remake will improve, sort of. Perseus is almost killed by Calibus in the swamp, but escapes only to lose the helmet, and the fight looked rather fake. Perseus enters the palace to solve the riddle, and he does and says no bonfires between Andromeda and Calibus. Meanwhile, Calibus calls his mother to find a way to punish Perseus, and Thetis says in 30 days to give Andromeda, or else the Kraken destroys the city, or should I say, give her to the Kraken, or else she'll destroy the city. And the threat is rather doesn't make much sense, because why don't you just give her to Calibus right away? But she does the opposite of her plan, and so I'm a little baffled by that. Perseus seeks a way to defeat the Kraken as Ammon joins the adventure, as he recommends 3 old blind witches who live in the east, as Pegasus is captured by Calibus. And Zeus commands Athena to give her owl, Bubo, I think is his name. Yeah, that's right, Bubo, as a replacement of his helmet of invisibility, but she builds a mechanical one of an owl, I'll say, which is rather pretty cute looking for a robot. And I do enjoy the more material, as the remake will probably get it all wrong, maybe. I don't remember it very well. We'll see, but I'm liking this so far. We find the three cannibalistic witches as Bubo takes their eye and they tell Perseus about Medusa the Gorgon and how it can defeat the Kraken by turning it to stone by looking her in the eyes. Perseus and Ammon and the men ditch our Andromeda to return to Joppa. Meanwhile, they arrive at the river Styx? Yeah, Styx, where the skeletal ferryman, Charon, I don't know if it's spelled like Karen, but it's spelled like Charon, is to row them in the Isle of the Dead in exchange for a silver coin, as Perseus takes three of his men, which is to cross the river to the island. And I enjoy this as a B-movie popcorn entertainment kind of movie. Once they're there, Perseus and his men find the temple of Medusa and soon battle. Let me see if I'm saying this right. Dioskylos, who's a two-headed dog guarding the lair, and two men defeat it while a snake captures Perseus' sword, but he manages to get it back, and Perseus stabs the two-headed dog, and they go inside Medusa's head underground ruins, and she's armed with a bow and arrow, and she takes on the three intruders, as she takes them both down rather easily, as Perseus fights back, and he uses the shield to defeat Medusa, as well as decapitate her, and collects his sword, but loses his shield in Medusa's acidic blood, and the effects on Medusa looks rather cheap and fake, but it was the 1980s, admittedly. At night, as Perseus and his party set out to return to Joppa, with Medusa's head wrapped in a cloak, Calibus raids the camp, spills her blood, and spawning three giant scorpions as they attack the party. After they lose, the last two men are killed. Perseus is able to slay the remaining scorpion and manages to best Calibus, who's killed by the sword. And Perseus is weakened by his struggle and runs out of time, orders Bubo to find Pegasus as the mechanical owl locates him in the swamp guarded by Calibus's men and the giant vulture, which how is he going to get out of there? Bubo catches chaotic melee. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Please forgive me. And the camp burns when a fire pit overturned and frees Pegasus, which was a good creature action sequence. Back in Joppa, Perseus arrives in Ammon's amphitheater, and Zeus says calmly the famous line, "Release the Kraken." As Andromeda is about to be sacrificed by the Kraken, Perseus approaches the Kraken, but he knocks him out of his mount, spilling them both to the ocean. Bubo retrieves the head and delivers it to Perseus, who frees the head, turning the Kraken into stone, which collapses into the bay. With the task completed, Perseus throws the head into the ocean and frees Andromeda as Pegasus emerges from the sea and to the crowd's delight, and Perseus and Andromeda will live happily, rule wisely, and produce good children. Meanwhile, Zeus forbids the other gods to pursue any vengeance against the Perseus. And as a climax, it was fun in an entertaining way, but how come this never got a sequel and the remake got a sequel? Maybe I'll talk about that in the next couple of weeks. Now it's time for the rating. I'll give this movie a 6.5 out of 10. This was a very entertaining B-movie popcorn entertainment. I do like the characters, as Perseus looked like a teenage boy compared to Sam Worthington in the next movie. I do enjoy the action sequences as well as the creatures, which looked fake, but it was the 1980s, admittedly, and the movie does a good job telling its source of material, as well as the plot. So we'll be back next time with the remake of Clash of the Titans from 2010. And until next time, release the Kraken.